Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Canis and Studio Karah is my world of creation. I imagine, I create, and I hope to inspire you along the way. If you want to follow me in my journey, feel free to subscribe. For those of you wondering, yes, you're right, that's not what I typed on the keyboard, but let's pretend I did, and if any of you can figure out what I typed, leave a comment below with your guess. Today I have my March bullet journal set up to share with you all. The theme for this month is spring. You'll see plants, flowers, and leaves scattered in this whole setup. The weather has taken such a turn last week and we've had difference of full 40 degrees here in Hanover. One week it was -19 and the next it felt like it was full on summer with 19 degrees. I live in Germany, so we use Celsius for those of you who were wondering in Fahrenheit how I'm still alive. The sudden change of weather made me think of all things spring, and that is exactly what led me to this theme. I used craft paper and one single color as you saw throughout this whole setup. Before we start, I have a quick flip through of the last month's setup, which is February with the theme Love Letters. If you haven't seen this one yet, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description and in the info icon. It is one of my favorite themes that I created. It has real wax seals on the Dutch door envelopes. At the end of the flip through, you will see a tracker for my Instagram followers that I made quickly just so I could look back at it after hitting a milestone. If you want to see more behind the scenes and daily uploads, you can follow me at Studio Karah on Instagram. This little feather bookmark is created out of one of my ink creations and it is available in my Etsy shop. You can find the link in the description if you're interested in getting one for yourself. Just like last time, I will be making free printables for this month's setup as well. You can get them for free or for a small contribution. It's completely up to you. To read more about how you can get them for free or how you can contribute, check out the description and reach out to me if you have any questions. Getting started on the cover page, I used my Staedtler pigment liner with a 0.1 nib to draw out the Pilea plant, also known as the Chinese money plant or the pancake plant. I own one of these beauties and they are so adorable. I am totally in love with the shape of the leaves. They're fairly simple to draw. Draw the circle shape of the leaves. They are not perfectly round and some are ovals to make them more 3D. I wanted to create the illusion that you look at some of them from the side, so I added a little fold on some of the oval leaves. With simple lines, I connected the stems into a glass round vase that I filled with imaginary water. I really like how this turned out and I'm thinking about maybe making smaller versions of it to create digital stickers or printable stickers. Would you be interested in them? Let me know in the comments. Below the little vase, I added some craft paper and with a white gel pen I wrote down the writing prompt for this month, which is, "He lives in the whispers of the wind, and she is a soaring raindrop, both bound to clash." It's a short one this month. If you write anything inspired by this prompt, please share it with me, I'd love to read it. I'm using a little retractable brush to brush away the eraser residue, and I was so excited about the fact that it was retractable. I received it with my new keyboard, but I'll probably be using it for this purpose instead. By the way, I used a thicker fine liner to outline the Pilea leaves and stems to create more depth. Speaking of keyboards, you might have possibly noticed my new favorite thing at this moment, which is my gorgeous new keyboard. I'll get into that topic later or create a whole new video dedicated to it instead, but all you need to know is that you'll be seeing this baby more often. It's an iQnix F96 blueberry themed mechanical keyboard. More info on it you can get with the link in my description. As you watch me fumble to add more craft paper onto the glass vase, I'd like to go back to the topic of printables. This time around, I'll have a blank version of this setup available for purchase in my Etsy shop, as well as for the previous monthly setups. If you're interested in the blank version and can't or don't want to get it through Etsy, please send me a message and we can make it work in another way. I don't have Patreon or anything similar, so until I do, you can always reach out to me personally. I am at Studio Karah on all my socials, linked in the description. We have continued to the Dutch door page on the right, which is a Monstera leaf, another one of my favorite plants. The leaves are so big and luscious. I love the shape and the fenestrations, which are the holes and cuts that the Monstera leaves get when they grow bigger. That is exactly the idea I had for this Dutch door page. I used a piece of cardboard behind the page and an X-Acto knife to cut out the leaf shape carefully. Later on, I added some definition to the leaf by adding a black border on all the cut sides. It creates a little window to the next spread, which is the March calendar. This is maybe my favorite page that I created this month. I made a little window through which you can see flowers on the imaginary outside world. On the page itself, I drew a few small vases with simple leafy flowers in them, much like the dried Gypsophila or baby's breath, whatever you like to call it, in the small bottle that I have on the side. Most of the doodles are strongly inspired by this prop, and I absolutely love how it looks, don't you? The calendar rests beneath the windowsill, and the windowsill will contain the letters of the days of the week. I went ahead and grabbed my Tombow brush pen with the number 623. I loved how this color looked on the envelope edges on my last setup, so I had to use it again in this setup. I love that it turns all the mini flower doodles into lavender. On the Monstera leaf on the left page, I added a simple flower doodle and I used an X-Acto knife to cut out the window shape. I used a piece of wrapping paper to put behind the window. And then suddenly my pen slipped when I was outlining the window. Did you see how I froze in horror? After 2 seconds, which felt like hours, I continued with outlining, and as I was doing it, I came up with an idea to create a little vine out of the line that came out on mistake. It looks very cute and very intentional. I kind of regret not making more of those that frame the window in a sense. They'd be much like string of hearts, which is another one of my favorite plants. I have a variegated one. Do you like plants? What's your favorite plant? Let me know in the comments. On top of the window, I added more depth to the March title, and then we are done with this spread. I really love how this turned out. Moving on to the next spread, which will contain my double Dutch door spread, and behind it an overview of the weeks of the month end, as well as another calendar to refer back to. The doodle I went for this spread is an abstract Monstera leaf. First, I completed the calendar with my white gel pen on the wrapping paper that served the window on the previous spread. Below that, I have a little space for my long-term goals this month and short-term goals. I also added the week numbers on the calendar above, which I used to keep track of my goals per week. Now it's time for the double Dutch door Monstera leaf. I did the same as the cover page Dutch door, but this time half of the leaf covers the calendar page and half of it the week's overview, much like a heart shape. I used an X-Acto knife and a piece of cardboard to cut out the fenestrations carefully. It looks the best when it's not symmetrical and not at all perfect. I loosely drew the shape outline in pencil first, and the rest of the shaping happened with the X-Acto knife. Let me know what you think of the results. It kind of reminds me of bird wings when I flap them back and forth. Regardless, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I decided to leave the leaf as it is and not add anything on it, as it is already a bit too much on its own. Moving on to the next page, I wrote down the weeks of March and the week number next to it. On the opposite, I drew more of the abstract Monstera leaves. They're very simple to create and can be done with one single stroke. I might create a printable of this as well, with a step-by-step guide on how you draw this abstract leaf. What do you think? The page kind of looked a little empty, so I decided to use my Tombow brush pen to create straight lines to write on. This turned out very pretty. Let's move on to the next spread, which is the first weekly layout. I decided to divide this month into weekly spreads, unlike February, where I divided 4 weeks into one spread. I thought it would be enough, but I always ended up needing more space to write, so that has led me to this decision. This weekly spread has flowery doodles that look like lavender, again inspired by the Gypsophila in the small bottle on my table. Fun fact, this little bottle is actually a serum bottle from the Ordinary skincare that I finished. It was way too pretty to throw away, so I use it as a mini vase for my dried flowers. How many of you guessed this already? I know a lot of people love the Ordinary skincare. Let me know in the comments. I know I have a lot more of these empty bottles that I will use as mini vases throughout our apartment. On the right side of this spread, I added a little brain dump section for the ideas and notes throughout the week. I came to realize I have a lot of those recently, so this was a must. And that concludes my March setup. I hope you liked it. Hang around for the little flip through and minor additions to some of the pages. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this month's theme. This video was also a bit longer than usual, but if you watched all the way till the end, you're amazing. Leave a plant emoji in the comments so I know you are the elite. Don't forget to get the free printables as a thank you, and check out the feather bookmark in my Etsy shop. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment or reach out to me on any of my social media linked in the description. Also, don't forget to share your recreations with me on Instagram and follow me there for more content and behind the scenes stuff. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to join the family and click the bell button if you want to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and until next time, keep imagining, keep creating, and stay inspired. Bye, darlings.